Hi, this is Suzanne in Ohio. Have a small project share to show you today. I was going through my stash of stuff and I found my box of UFOs. I learned that term in my quilt group, which is unfinished objects. And I had a few of them that were finished and I thought I would share them. So these are little necklaces that I had created at one time several years ago. So I looked at them and I thought, well, they're still kind of current. They're still cute. And maybe I'll use them in a different way than was originally intended. I made these all into necklaces, but I think I'll take those rings off and that necklace piece and turn them into little brooches. But I just wanted to share with you how I did it. So the first thing I did was paint on fabric, just plain muslin, nothing fancy, and acrylic paints. If you've never painted on fabric before, it's kind of fun because the paint reacts differently than it does on paper. Here's a few that are unfinished, just in the creating stage. And that's how they start out. I don't know why I made these so small, but this was basically the size I started with. So I painted on the fabric, and then I added these sections of fabric, turned them inside out. At the time I didn't want raggy edges, but I think I would enjoy the raggy edges now. I've learned a lot, my tastes have changed, and I've come out of that restricted mode of trying to create everything absolutely perfect. I like the more organic look, so I'll be doing some more of those this winter. Now what I did was I just found images in a magazine, Birds in Bloom, and just redrew them, used them as color guides, and I'm not an expert painter, but they're artistic and they're good for what I'm using them for. So I just wanted to show you a few of them up close, and let's see if I can get this to focus. Let me put on autofocus here. I'm still learning this, all these things. There we go. One of them up close. So I added all these little tidbits of lace and fibers, all this raggy yarn and eyelash yarn, and then they have some kind of bead, usually something hanging at the bottom of them. So that's a sparrow, and I liked this one because it's a red pole, and I don't have any of those at my bird feeder, never have, but I sure wished I did. So, and another red pole, but I finished him off different. Each thing has a little bit different lace and a few different fibers, and so it made them all different. This one, let's see if I can get him. Okay. A chickadee, but I probably forgot to leave his white cap on the top of his head, or else that's how the photograph looked. I don't know. Goldfinch. And of course these are bluebirds. Totally unfinished. So they look pretty plain until you get all the embellishments around the back of them, around the outsides. Nothing spectacular. And then I wanted to create a little keepsake type of thing, and I did this one, and it says Patrick Henry Koger. There's his birth and death date, and he was a fiddler extraordinaire. He was championship fiddler for the state of West Virginia several times, and he then went on to teach other people that became the fiddling champions. So his father was also a fiddler champion. Just an interesting tidbit. He was still alive and playing on the radio when I was about 8 years old. So I'm going to create that as something. There, it's got his personal information on the back. I'm going to create kind of a memoir keepsake. So that's all there is to it. Not much to say. Let me take this autofocus off. Now, I don't know why that's not focusing. Come on. There's the camera. Well, you have to tell it something every now and then, don't you? Okay. That's all there is to it, and I want to thank you for watching. Look for me again on YouTube. I'm Suzanne in Ohio.